any ice cream?
They make birdseed ice cream.
Wow. Avocado ice cream. That's what Tom Brady eats.
Avocado? No, he eats at KFC, dude.
No way. I'm not buying that
Yes.
story. So go ahead. Tell me this story. Go ahead.
Well, I'm at the hobby show, and Allison will back this up. She was sitting there, and we're eating, and this guy says that he's from a local Foxborough hobby shop, and he says a lot of the players come in there to buy cars and stuff, and do whatever. And he said that they're all big RC guys, especially the rookies that come into town, and they don't have any family or really close friends yet because they just got drafted. So he's like, they come into the hobby store and they buy RC cars. So so he gets to know some of them, and they talk about different things, and he said one of their favorite places to go eat is KFC. And Tom Brady, no matter what he says, is always the first in line.
What?
Allison, didn't the guy say that Tom Brady was eating KFC?
Yes, because he had to be the first one to touch out of the bucket. That was what it was.
Yeah.
He didn't, like a true leader would wait till everyone else had their food first.
Yeah, he had to be the first one to get his out of the bucket.
Wait a minute. Now she's saying a true leader would wait
I was surprised because they do say he eats like amazing.
Yeah, they say that for the most part he eats amazing, but he's the first one to get his chicken out of the KFC bucket.
This is so weird.
It is very weird.
I couldn't believe when you messaged me that. I'm like, no way.
That's what they said.
All right. Well, Tom Brady likes KFC.
Well, we know Bill likes Chick-fil-A.
Well, that's true. We went through the drive-thru once. Yep. That was funny.
Yeah, how funny is it that you're at the counter ordering Chick-fil-A and Bill Belichick pulls up, getting his sweet tea and some. It's pretty funny.
That'd be so weird. I mean, maybe the girl didn't even know who he was, but somebody was recording it though.
Just looked like some old dude getting some Chick-fil-A.
Who is he again? Bill Belichick.
Who?
He coaches the New England Patriots. Oh.
He's that team right around the corner.
Well, what's he doing at Chick-fil-A?
I wonder if he gets the sandwich or the nuggets.
I don't know. So what's up, buddy? How's the cold going on there, man? You're messaging me saying you're sick as hell.
Yeah, it's been a bad, week or two.
Yeah, you've been on the road a lot, so that's what happens.
Then Allison's sick now, of course. Fred's sick.
Fred's sick too. Oh man.
Yeah, everybody's sick.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been kind of it's been a good trip, but at the same time, it's when you get sick, it's brutal.
It might be allergies though.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, we had a good stop at the Bigfoot open house. That went pretty well.
That was last weekend, right?
Yeah, that was last weekend. Our one of our racers from that area won the Outlaw Retro class, and I won the Sport Mod and the Pro Mod. And Bob C. Chandler won the Freestyle.
Over Fred?
Well, Fred didn't compete.
Oh, okay.
It's not fair when he competes, I guess.
I was going to say, wow, Bob must be pretty damn good.
Freestyle Fred didn't compete.
Fred figured he'd let somebody else win. Meanwhile, Jason's like, I'm competing. Takes 2 classes, victories.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going for it. I got my butt kicked today, though.
Really?
Yeah. Made it to the finals, lost in the finals.
Oh, wait, what were you racing today?
See, we're at the, so we did the open house last week. We drove from there about 3 hours to Champaign, Illinois. We had the HCP convention, what was inside. I think I sent you some photos of that.
Yeah, that's like the mini Chicago show.
Very mini. So we got that done. Debuted a couple new products. We got some new drag race bodies and showed the dirt oval stuff again, and kind of showing a couple new tire projects we got going. And then had a little day break, and then we were out on the they call it Eli Field, which is about 30 minutes away from Horizon. I guess this is a field they use typically for model aircraft. Guys can come out here and fly, but it's so big that they're using it for like an RC fest. So there was everything out here. There was, of course, flying. There was boats. There was RC monster trucks, RC freestyle monster trucks. There was mud bogging. There was scale crawlers. There was figure 8 racing. Demolition derby.
I missed that one.
Allison wanted to watch Demo Derby.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And what else did they have? Oh, and they had that traditional off-road 8-scale off-road racing.
Big planes and little planes.
I mean, the planes and helicopters they had out here were ridiculous. They were so awesome.
Yeah, so detailed.
The jets, they had the full jets with like the turbine engines.
Yep.
When those guys fire those things up and they go down the runway, it's like, oh my gosh.
I watch those on YouTube. They're so awesome.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, it sounds like a regular jet taking off.
Yeah.
They queue up on the runway and he's got the jets kind of, and then he goes full throttle, and it's just like being in a real jet.
God damn. I can't imagine what it costs to put those together.
Yeah, I don't know either. They were saying, because you can they have sales there. You can buy things that Horizon is selling. People that were connected to the show, they had their products out there.
Mm-hmm.
So they did like this Ring of Fire. They do like a nighttime show with the aircraft, and somebody was telling me that one of the ones that they were using out there was $37,000.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I notice on YouTube it's a lot of retired guys that probably have a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's what Fred was kind of thinking too, like ex-pilots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sitting there, we're about to do some monster truck stuff, and I mean, a plane takes off, and you're like, you don't know if this is the
Libyans
a real one.
Yeah, are the Libyans attacking, or is this a?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know if it's a real one or what's going on. Then I'm racing today.
Uh-huh.
They had a rock racing vehicle pulling out. And like two times a day, they bring that out on the runway and just kind of drive it around and make some noise.
Yeah.
So we're doing a race, and this thing fires up behind me, starts driving, and then it's got one of those like like one of those sirens. So the guy's driving behind us, and the thing's a little loud to begin with. Then he hits the sirens on it while we're like middle of the race. I'm like, what the hell?
Jason's trying to race, and he's got jet engines in the background.
Sirens.
Man, this is a terrible jet engine sound effect.
Didn't go so hot. Huh?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Anyway.
So yeah, we went from the Bigfoot open house to this Horizon RC Fest. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend coming out
Everybody should go.
to this RC Fest. You got something for everybody to play with, basically.
Yeah.
Try me tracks, try me cars.
Did they have RC battleships there?
No battleships.
Oh man, you ever watch those on YouTube? They're like sinking each other with the BBs.
I have seen that. I think we went over this before because you were saying you got into it for a while. You were watching a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it.
What they did is they did the dog fights in the air though with the planes.
What?
Yeah, so they fly the RC planes around and try and fly into each other and knock them out of the sky. For
real? They try to knock him out?
Yeah, dog fights.
The RC jets.
It wasn't like the full on.
I was gonna say because they're not putting up a $35,000 jet and trying to knock.
No. This was more like a budget. This was like a budget plane.
Oh, okay. Man, I was gonna those guys have money then to blow. But they hit pretty hard, like.
Yeah, they do.
Wow, this is crazy. I didn't know. I'm gonna have to look this up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's. They don't look like they're going all that fast until they hit, and it's a pretty nice little noise. Whack, and then they just drop down, and then so you're trying to knock them out of the sky.
Yeah, so the goal is to knock this dude out of the sky, but not put yourself out of commission.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. I didn't really listen in on the conditions, but
I wonder if they shoot BBs.
No, they were hitting. I think you try to clip their wings, or you try to do something.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we were watching, and
they have like razor blades on the end of the wings, maybe, or something.
I don't know if it's like. I don't think it's all battle botted out.
Wow, that's pretty cool though. So if you can get a little cheap plane, go up there and just have some fun.
Yeah, it was neat. I mean, people like it too because they hit, make a good noise, and then they just fall.
I sure hope we got some video of that.
I don't know if we did or not.
Come on. I saw Fred was. You had a picture up there of Fred with a boat. Did he buy that?
Yeah, he likes to go out and try to. He's the show American Pickers.
Yeah. Yep.
Where they go out and they find vintage stuff, and that's what he does, but with RC stuff. So like. Whenever he's got a moment, he'll try to get out, find an old hobby store, or just people getting rid of things.
And this is the trip. You've been gone for like a week now, so this is the trip where you guys bought the video games and you bought an NES gun too?
Yeah, we were going to give that away.
Oh, you're going to give it away on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. So yeah, Jason sent me a photo. Fred bought some video games. He posted it on his Facebook page. What's the Facebook page again? RC Archaeologist or
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he got some RC video games, Revolt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got the Revolt 2, which I didn't know they had. I think it's called Revolt Pro. Is it Revolt? Am I saying the right game? I'm not sure, but
pull up the photo.
Yeah, and he got some other games in there, and then Jason got an NES gun, and he said, "Hey, I got this gun. We'll give it away to patrons of the show."
Yeah,
which is pretty cool, though.
Yeah, we got some. He got some games. He got some games. Got some DVDs.
That's right. You guys got some movies there.
Yeah, I went and got they're like $3, so it's like you can either rent it on Netflix, get it once, or I was in there. Fred's like, "Yeah, find some Chuck Norris stuff." And So
I wonder what Fred's video game collection looks like.
he doesn't have a ton of video games. He basically gets a video game if it has a monster truck or an RC car.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, he bought some Monster Jam video games too.
Yeah, so he has those, but he doesn't really have anything else video game related.
Yeah.
He scored pretty good on this trip, though. So then, anyway, yeah, we were in the hobby shop, and this guy, for whatever reason, had like a lot of boats, and the kid was in there, but I guess this was all of his dad's stuff. So the kid's like selling his dad's old cars.
Oh man!
And so it's a tugboat, is what it is, and that's where Fred actually started in RC building vintage. Or not vintage, but building tugboats with his dad.
Wow!
So they're RC tugboats. So you get out there and in the pond, and they do the same thing. They have competitions where you kind of do the same thing as the real ones. Right.
So you have to hitch up and tow an actual ship in.
Yep.
But wow, I'll have to look that up too on YouTube.
Yep.
There's a whole other part of RC that I haven't discovered really until recently, like with the battleships.
I mean, I think a lot of people are the same way. You get kind of fixated on the one that you like or the one you're doing at the time, and
yeah.
And
I mean, I knew there was RC boats, but I had no idea that they're running out there making battleships, going out in a pond and shooting each other, trying to sink the other boat. No idea. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, he actually got that tugboat for his dad.
Ah, cool.
Because that's where he started in RC with his dad doing the tugboats. So yeah, he was pretty pumped on some of the findings he got. He got a lot of good vintage stuff.
Yeah.
I got those DVDs. They're not too bad. Yeah, I mean, Fred did, he actually went to Digger's Dungeon first, which was in Poplar Branch, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So he was there for an RC monster truck event. Then went...
And I saw you guys have a display there now that's permanent. It's at the dungeon, right?
Yeah.
The J Concepts...
Yeah, we started that a year or two ago when we started selling some Bog Hog and King Sling items. And I think Fred kind of changes it out or cleans it up. So Fred went from there to the Bigfoot open house. He drove there for that. We got that event. Went pretty well. Got a lot of video, photos. I wrote up a race report on it, and then Thomas and I were sharing it back and forth. We're gonna try to, put photos to it, and he was gonna post it. And then the whole thing got deleted.
Oh, damn!
So now, in between, I've been trying to kind of rewrite the report again, which just, after you do something once and then it's like when we do a podcast over again occasionally.
Oh, man. Cross our fingers. We haven't had that happen in a long time, but man, when it did, it was so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, what happens too is, especially if it's good,
mm-hmm.
especially if it's a good one, and you're trying to recreate it or redo it the same way, and it's just hard to do that.
Yeah.
You can kind of hit on some of the same topics, but nothing ever really comes out quite the same. Yeah, we've done had a real busy last couple weeks, especially especially for Fred doing the driving. I mean, I flew to St. Louis and then drove with them to Illinois here, but it's still been a long time, and it's good to get back and actually got a lot of stuff done while we were on the road. Trying to write reports and do emails and make contacts and make phone calls you wouldn't normally, might put off or something like that. So getting some good stuff done. Then you got the guys that are at AMS. Well, actually, at the event that I was just at, the 8-scale off-road race was going on, and Cole Tollard won all 3 classes out there.
Oh, wow. Killed it.
It's about, he won, he won 8-scale nitro buggy, 8-scale truggy, and e-buggy. So, he had a really good event. So, Cole Tollard, he really cleaned up out there. And that's cool because it's still, it's with spectators.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of spectators out there, and I mean, it's legit. I mean, all this talk around RC about, well, you got to do it. We got to do this, and we got to do that, and get more people involved, and it's got to be with spectators. And I mean, the last several events I've done have all been with spectators. And, we did the RC Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando. That was with spectators. We did the Bigfoot Open House. That was with spectators. And we just did this Horizon RC Fest. It was all spectators. And, of course, the Monster Jam World Finals is probably the most amount of spectators coming in and out of there, or the potential for the most amount because of the sheer attendance there. But at the Bigfoot Open House, I mean, there was always people like just wrapped around the track. I was watching. At the Monster Jam thing, there was a lot of spectators, but it kind of comes in and out. Like at one moment it'll. What they're really good at that event is everything was by a time schedule. So the spectators actually knew when we were going to run.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, if we said, hey, they're going to run at 2:00, like all of a sudden the spectators are like coming over there at like 2:00, and you're just like, I've never seen so many people on a good time schedule before.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Organized.
Yeah, the spectators were organized.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not. I definitely didn't expect that. But yeah, there was, probably thousands of spectators coming by, watching that event.
Man.
And then we went out to the Bigfoot Open House, and I'd say they had that day they probably had. I'd say they had 4,000 spectators out there, and and they're all, coming by the RC track watching. And I'd say at that event, we probably had the most amount of people watching at one time because it's kind of one of the more exciting things going on during that moment. And then came out here to Horizon and, again, spectators. They said there was 900 spectators the first day. There was 2,000 the second day. And then there was some more today. So it was over 3,000 for the weekend.
That's crazy, man.
So yeah, just the last several weeks, our last 3 events we've been to have all been with spectators. So yeah, it's good. It's been good to kind of be a part of that side of things. I was talking to new people. And
so am I able to, at Horizon, able to watch the events and then be like, oh man, I want that truck and go buy it over there?
Yeah, for the most part. It's tough because, especially in the RC, um, on the RC side of things with the monster trucks, there are a lot of custom builds. But the scale trucks, that's probably the thing right now. You can kind of buy, 2 or 3 different sizes or versions, and you can get out there right away and kind of compete with everybody because they're all RTRs.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much pull it out of the box and start driving. That's a big part of this event here. Is the scale trucks, the mud bogs. That was a big part of it too.
Yeah, how'd you do in that?
I ran, but I didn't compete in the mud bog. I just ran.
Oh, okay.
To run some tires, but oh man, we made a complete disaster out of the tires, or not the tires, but the car.
Oh, what? What happened?
I mean, I'll send you a photo of what it looks like. It's just we destroyed it.
Looks like something I drove.
No, it's just so muddy.
Well, it's a mud bog.
Yep, it sure was. Wait till you see the picture of this.
Jason's like, "Oh, my truck's all dirty."
You're like, well, you did do a mud bog. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all fun and games until you put it in the mud, really.
Yeah.
And you're thinking when you do it beforehand, you're kind of excited. You're like, oh, this is going to be cool. And of course, we wanted to do a video and kind of run our tires at the same time, but man. So, yeah, and then last weekend they were doing the Manufacturers Cup race up at Chico. That's a long run. Thomas was over there supporting the guys. Mayfield won Truggy, and Spencer won E-Buggy and Nitro Buggy.
Nice. Patriot way.
That's a little different race where, the Reedy race for 10 scale, how they run those heads-up starts and all that stuff. Well,
yeah.
They actually do the nitro cars like that at this race.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what they do is they do it points like the Reedy race. So there actually is no qualifying, so you just all run together and for points.
So how does the guys like that?
How do they like it?
Yeah, do you prefer, because I prefer it that way, but
not for like qualifying. And this wasn't qualifying, it's just a heads up format, but it almost seems like just inevitably there's some people that are far better than the others, and it's more of a contest to see how well those guys can make it through traffic. Because like the Reedy race, I mean, even though it's 24 or 30 cars, there's really only, and no disrespect to all 30 guys in that race, but there's like 6 or 7 guys that are kind of in a league of their own.
Right.
So when you may have 30 guys that are racing, but really only 6 or 7 of them are really in it to win it in the grand scheme of things. So when they're starting like in the back of the pack, and it's really just a contest to see how well those guys can make it from the back of the pack to the front of the pack for the overall. And it's exciting, but then there's also the races that just make you look at them and just go, man, that was a cluster.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't know.
I think people like it in general.
Yeah,
people do like it.
Well, for spectating especially.
But yes, I mean, it gives you someone, it gives it something to cheer on while it's happening. But so they ran it in nitro at that race, and There was some fireworks, I guess. There were some guys getting into each other, and
Oh yeah.
there were some arguments out there. This was just at that rate, at the Manufacturers Cup, and yeah, there was a video that was online, and it was like somebody posted it, and guys like, man, holy cow, what a bunch of hacking going on.
Yeah. Not used to seeing that.
And I posted in there, I'm like, yeah, this is the race. This is how I envision it. Every time someone says, we need more heads up starts. But yeah, there's there is good events that have that. Reedy Race, they got this Manufacturers Cup where they do it, and a couple races a year. I think it's pretty cool to have, but to have every race like that, I think just the shine would really wear off. But yeah, Spencer won Nitro Buggy, E-Buggy, and Mayfield won Truggy, and Mayfield was actually supposed to go to the AMS that was happening just today. But he decided to stay back and work on his stuff for the because the Roar Nationals is like 2 weeks away.
Right.
So yeah, at the AMS today, Cavallari TQ'd 8-scale Nitro Buggy, which was not really a surprise. It's not really a surprise for a guy for him to TQ a race, but it's a little bit of a surprise. He hasn't, hasn't really been a winning year yet for him. It's been a successful and a good year, but not a winning year. And I think it's
new car, right?
Yeah, a new everything. Car, 8 scales and 10 scales. So, but he TQ'd, and he didn't win the main. Ryan Lutz won the main. That happened a little while ago.
Wait a minute. What's Lutz running now?
He's running a Gamma. He's on a whole new car.
Okay. Wow. So that was big for him too.
Yeah.
Whole new car. And...
He's actually been on a kind of a roll recently. It's kind of got started for him when he went over to Neo Buggy, and he had a great race over at Neo Buggy in England. Kind of got the ball rolling for him with those cars, and since then he's been almost a favorite, on all the races that have been happening recently. So yeah, it's been kind of a good year going for him so far, and now he's going to Texas for the Roar Nationals, where he actually has a lot of runtime on this track. And I think he actually won the warm-up there, too. So I don't think he's ever won a Roar National title that I'm aware of. Ryan Lutz, so going to have some pressure on here this weekend. Or in 2 weeks when we go to the Roar Nats. Because he's practiced up, he's obviously doing good, and let's see if he can kind of deliver. Yeah, so he won 8-scale Nitro, Cavallari second, I think Tebow got third, and then in Truggy, Lutz was actually leading Truggy too. Testman was second, and Spencer was third, and I was just watching the scoring online, but it looks like Lutz crashed on the last lap or got into traffic, and Testman got him on the last lap. So Testman won, Lutz second, and Spencer got third in Truggy. And then in E-Buggy, it looks like Dakota Fenn got the win. 2 A main format. Dakota got third in the first main, first in the second main, and then Tebow won the first main and then didn't really have a great second main. And then Cavallari got second in both mains, so he actually got third overall. So it was Dakota, Tebow, and Cavallari in in the e-buggy class. So, and I mean, I was just looking at the results this year. Oh man,
Yeah.
it just seemed like there's so many classes.
It's because there is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of them and kind of on top of them, but God, let's count them. Because between the photos and Thomas posting the podiums, and I was like, man.
Yeah, I'm always shocked by it.
Okay.
So what do we got?
I'll count them.
Might have to use your toes. There's so many of them.
14 classes.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. But they got a good turnout, I guess, and people like to have their options. Then, so we had another guy. We had Rich from the shop out at the KNK, the scale event up in Ohio. Big scale truck event, almost 400 trucks, I guess, up there.
Wow.
They've been saying that's the second biggest scale truck race, or I keep saying race, scale truck event of the year. Axial Fest is usually number 1, and then this one is number 2. So that was going on this weekend. So we had 3 events going on this weekend, and we had guys at each one of the events. So that was kind of a challenge for us, because we had Fred had our van, which he drove to St. Louis and then Illinois here where we are. And then Paul's got my truck and the trailer. They have that in Alabama. And then we had to get a rental van for Rich to go to KNK in Ohio. So we got, and just trying to keep it covered.
Yep. I see the Element trucks here at K&K.
Yeah.
Those are, I think they're shipping out to people now, if I'm correct.
They're close as far as I know.
The apparel's available, though.
Yeah, you can start getting your apparel.
Yeah, I need XL.
Come on, Brad.
XL t-shirt and XL hoodie.
Didn't I send you a t-shirt? Not an Element, of course, but...
Yes, you did. J Concepts event. That's the 2019 event t-shirt.
Nice.
Which I'll give one away to the patrons of the show.
Okay.
You want to do that? I got everybody in a name randomizer here. So if you're a patron of a show...
Okay, the randomizer.
Yeah, I got all these names in here. So if you're a patron over at patreon.com/radio impound, your name's in here. And there's different tiers. So I have 3 different tiers. Whatever tier you're in, your name's in here. For instance, if you're in tier number 3, which is $5 plus, your name is in here based on how much you donated. So
okay.
So your name is in here multiple times. So your chances of winning are better the more you donate. Imagine that. And this is, I think this is let me look at this shirt here. I got it right here. It's an XL. XL 2019 J Concepts event t-shirt.
Okay.
And it's going to Eli Westrup.
All right.
Congratulations, Eli. If you're listening to this, hit me up with a message with your shipping address, and you won yourself a J Concepts event t-shirt.
Autograph it for him.
I'll autograph the bag. I don't know if he wants me opening it up. Pretty cool. Well, there you go. Thank you. Thanks to the patrons. And I'm also running the contest on tomorrow. Monday Night Raw is tomorrow. WWE. So we're running the contest for the Ryan Mayfield chassis that you got autographed by Ryan.
Okay.
So the guys have been sending me the wrestlers that they want to represent them, and I'm running that tomorrow. So I will stream that live on our YouTube channel. And the winner, what we're going to do is we're doing a battle royale, and we're splitting it up. So what we're going to do is, how do I have this scheduled here now? I think 8-man battle royale. So we're running 4 8-man battle royales. And then each winner of those battle royales is going to go into a ladder match. So we're going to have a 4-man ladder match for the final. Whoever wins gets the Ryan Mayfield chassis. So that's how we're doing it.
Fair enough.
So what else we got?
Well, we're still talking about AMS. Got that going on. KNK, that was great. Rich is still, he's, getting everything together, and they're probably trying to leave there pretty soon. So we'll have everybody getting back to the shop by about Tuesday.
And back to business. Gear up for the Nats.
Yeah. So what's going on over there for you?
I have been watching the Electronic Video Game Expo, known as E3.
Okay.
Getting all excited because, Google has their own console coming out called Stadia. It's not really a console; it's a controller, and then you're playing games off of their servers.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that coming out in November. Then Xbox just announced today that holiday 2020, the new Xbox will be coming out. It's called Project Scarlet, but I don't know what the final name's going to be of it. But so they announced that today. Sony is not at E3. This is the first time they haven't been there. They decided not to go to E3 because they usually run their own events, you know what I mean? So
okay,
they decided not to go, and Nintendo has decided not to go to E3 also. So I guess a lot of it involves, because Nintendo does their own conference also, so a lot of those companies are deciding to do it that way. So that's been going on this weekend. All new games coming out. It's an exciting time for video gamers.
I met a guy today that has a vintage video game channel on YouTube.
Oh, what is it?
I can give this to you. He's an RC guy. He said I think you'll be into this. He's called...
I might be a subscriber already.
Well, what the heck here? YouTube. It's Rolexoid Productions.
How do I
It's ROXOLID Productions.
ROX
ROLID.
Found it.
Gary Katzer.
Okay. I'm not a sub, but now I am. He has 345 videos up. Got over 7,000 subscribers.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he says he's been really working on this. He says the vintage video game thing is huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. He said there's trade shows and conferences going on all over the U.S. and the world just for vintage video games, and there's new people apparently like remaking vintage video games.
Check out his logo on his shirt, Jason. I just sent it in the chat.
Yeah, that's why he came and talked to me.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Because I was running the NWO monster truck today, so he came over.
Cool.
And he just like, I mean, I'd known him from the past because he's actually been in RC a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He just started getting into this vintage video game stuff just so it would be different than RC.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I could have him be on Ripcast Chaos to get a hold of him.
He would totally be on it.
Yeah.
He's a good talker, too, so he'd be good on that show. But yeah, Gary Katzer, been in RC a long time. He's worked for different magazines over the years. He actually worked for Horizon for many years, but kind of wanted to. He was actually announcing this weekend. He was hired as an announcer to do the RC 8 scale race out there, and then he kind of came over, stopped by, and talked to me for a bit. But he's done a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think he has some YouTube channels for RC stuff as well. Did a lot for Horizon, I think. A lot of YouTube channels content for Horizon. I think that was one of his main things he did.
Well, I think, from looking at this one photo, I believe he did the podcast, didn't he? The Horizon podcast? Hobby Talk? Is that what it was called?
No, I think you might be right, yeah.
Sure looks like it.
Yeah, so like I said, he's done quite a few things.
Yeah, right.
I think anything that involves talking, he's like really good at, so that's kind of the latest on our end here until we some new content this week.
We're going to wrap it up here. 195. We're going to let you go back to recovering from your cold.
Ugh.
It's past 10 o'clock here. This is a late podcast, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had no sports on TV tonight, so that's tomorrow.
Yeah, one of those rare nights.
NBA finals tomorrow, Monday Night Raw. Yeah, so episode 195.
It's in the books.
Moving along.
Yeah, appreciate everybody. Everybody's sticking with us here. Everybody get a little update, but a little under the weather.
Yeah. Allison, too, what shocks me. Oh, the health nut she is over there.
Yeah, it's just something some things you just can't avoid.
Yeah. Jason just spread the virus around everybody.
Oh, man.
You got to take a photo of all the stuff you buy, because usually when you get sick, you buy a bunch of stuff. I remember that one race you went to, you had all the medicine.
Oh, yeah, you got to line them up.
I'm sure you have them right now.
I didn't get too nuts.
No. Okay. But, all right, well, have a safe trip back to Florida. We'll catch you sometime this week for episode 196.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Yes, you put it succinctly.
Suck what?
Succinctly, it means perfectly.
Oh, yeah. May I do that?